Hey students, welcome to Writing Intensive 1A. This is Credit 1, and today I will be going over, for this video, vocabulary pages 3 and 4. These right here that I just highlighted. Um, so when you open up your packet, it's going to look like this. Make sure you click on the text box because you will need that to write, and simply scroll down to page number 3. And that is page number 3 and page number 4 here on this packet. So now that we go to page number 3, what you do here is you simply you look up the word, the part of the speech, and the definition. For example, assess. They gave us the word assess. They tell us it's a verb, and the definition is evaluate. So if you open up Google and you type in assess and then definition, press enter, you will get right here. You get that it's a verb and evaluate. Well, Google goes a little bit further and they tell us that it's or estimate the nature, ability, or quality of. But as you can see, evaluate was good enough. So you go back to your packet and they gave us barbs. They told us it was a noun and that that definition is hurtful remarks. The following word is coping. So to find that definition, you go back to Google. You just type in coping definition. It's already there. Press enter. And since it's not giving us that, since Google isn't directly giving you the definition, well, actually it is right here. To deal with and attempt to overcome problems and difficulties. Often used or dealing with cope or dealing with learning to cope. You can go with this definition right here where it says to deal with and attempt to overcome problems and difficulties. You can copy, because it's simply definitions, you can just copy it, or you can go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary or dictionary.com or even urbandictionary.com, depending what dictionary site you feel comfortable using. And you can just type it, click on the link, and it'll give you the answer. If you notice, a lot of these other dictionary websites, they'll give you a place to type in the word you're looking for, whether you want to look for the definition, synonyms, antonyms. A synonym is another word that's the same. That's why they both begin with the word S. Synonym and same, but we'll cover that later. So coping, right here. According to dictionary.com, it is a noun and it is a finishing or protective course or cap to an exterior masonry wall or the like. So that's a different kind of coping. And in woodworking, it is a piece of work having and its end shapes to fit together. Coping. Do they have any other definitions? No. But since we are dealing with feelings, I will go with the definition that it was given to us by Google. This one right here, to deal with or an attempt to overcome problems and difficulties. So I will copy that. I'll go back to my packet. Oh, look at that. They gave it to us already. Managing and surviving. So we know that it is a noun. So then we will just go with noun. So you open up your text box, make sure it's decent size. Use any color you wish to write with. Just remember to stick with that color throughout the packet because I will grade in a different color. So I will use black. And then you will just write noun. Noun. And then we go on to the next word. Now, if you're worried about spelling, you can always go back and forth and go between, all right, did I spell it right? Let me check. Or you can just copy the word. For example, disengage. You can copy disengage. Go to your Google search bar, press Control and V as in vacation, and that will paste it. And you can get the definition for disengage. There you go. It is an adjective. So we know that the word disengage is an adjective. So we go back. Oh, wrong page. Let's go back. And then you can just type, you can paste it, or you can just type adjective. And then we move on to the definition. The definition to adjective is emotionally detached. Emotionally detached. So you can go in, you can either paste it or you can just type it in. Emotionally detached. And you kind of get an idea on how to fill out page 3. So you do that throughout the packet. You give me the part of speech, noun, verb, adjective, pronoun, adverb, and you give me the definition. If you're curious about what an adjective is, you can always just adjective definition, you can always look it up and it will tell you. The word adjective is actually a noun, but an adjective is a word or phrase naming an attribute added to or grammatically related to a noun to modify or describe it. So an adjective describes a noun. For example, if you were to say, Mr. Hernandez is hungry, the word hungry is the adjective, and the noun would be Mr. Hernandez. All right, so let's go back to our packet and let's work on page number 4. You know what? Let's do, let me do 2 more definitions just to help. Let's do this one, overtly. Overtly, it means openly in a clear and unhidden way. So let's look up overtly. Now, it's describing something, so will that be a noun or an adjective? Overtly, definition. Let's see what it is. Overtly. Right? So openly, just like we have in our packet, and that makes it an adverb. So an adverb is something that describes an action. Adjective describes a person, place, or thing, but an adverb describes an action. All right, so adverb. Just type in adverb, and you're good. Here's a good word, exhibiting. Let's go with that word. Let's look that one up. Oops, wrong one. Exhibiting. I didn't mean to copy that on there. All right. Exhibiting. Let's see what that definition is. Exhibiting, it is publicly display a work of art or item in an art gallery or museum, or manifest or deliberately display. So it is a verb. So we know it is a verb. So let's go back to our packet. We know that much. Let's go with verb. Let's go back to our definitions, and it is an exhibit. The word is exhibiting. Oh, exhibiting, that's very important. Exhibiting. So we're looking for exhibiting. So it is to present particle or gerund. Manifest or deliberately display. So let's go with deliberate display. That means it's a type of behavior. So a quality or type of behavior that you are purposely showing. So you are purposely doing this. You are doing something for a reason, whether you want to get attention or you're trying to get something to be noticed. So we can go back, create a text box in the definition, and you can paste your definition just like that. Deliberately display, or a quality or a type of behavior. All right, let's go down to page number 4. And on this one, on page number 4, as you can see down right here, they gave us a word bank right there. That's our word bank. And you're going to use these words How many words are there? There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 words. And if you notice, there are 14 blank lines on page number 4. And you're going to fill out each blank line with one of the words. So once you use the word once, you can no longer use it again. So let's go to number 1, right here. Number 1, male peacocks blank spread and fan their bright colored feathers with specific intentions. Now, if you remember correctly, one of our definitions talked about that. So it could either be, I'm thinking, this is just me thinking, it could be exhibiting or it can be overtly. And so we go back to our page 4 and it says male peacocks exhibiting, see, exhibiting's right there, exhibiting spread and fan their bright colored feathers. Well, actually, the word exhibiting doesn't really fit because that makes it an adverb. But we're looking for, if it would have been the word exhibit, male peacocks exhibit spread, that still doesn't fit. So let's try overtly. Male peacocks overtly spread and fan their bright colored feathers with specific intentions. That kind of sounds like it fits a lot nicely in the language, especially when you say it out loud. So let's open up our text box, put one right there, and just type overtly. All right. After you've used overtly, you can either cross it. I don't suggest crossing it off. I suggest that you mark it down. So right that we didn't use exhibit, we used overtly. So I will put, if I put a dot on it right there, to me that's telling me that I already used it. That way I know that I can move on to the next line. All right. So we're talking about peacocks. Peacocks, they are blank behavior to make themselves attractive to a female pain. I forgot how to pronounce that word. So whenever, and another thing I like about Google, the Google Dictionary, if you want to know how to pronounce a word, you can just copy it. You search for that word, and it'll tell you how to pronounce it. Right there, look at that. Peahen, that's how you pronounce this word. Peahen. All right, so let's read that again. They are blank behavior to make themselves attractive to a female peahen. All right. One word that I know we just used it again, but I'm going to go with exhibiting. So they are exhibiting behavior to make themselves attractive to a female peahen. All right, let's type that in. Exhibiting. So we use that. Now, you read that out loud again, and you see if it makes sense. I'm going to start at the beginning with number 1 because we just completed number 1. Male peacocks overtly spread and fan their bright colored feathers with specific intentions. They are exhibiting behavior to make themselves attractive to a female peahen. Now, if you're happy with what you've got, you can just cross it off, or put a dot next to it. That way you know you can move on from that word, and you can move on to number 2. Now, I'll get you guys started with number 2. All right, number 2. Rumors and gossip can lead to fighting or exchanging insults and blank as a means of defense. Now, that sounds a little bit familiar to what we had in one of our top definitions. Let's see. All right, assess means to evaluate. No. Barbs. Hurtful remarks. That sounds more like it. Barbs. That sounds like it'll fit in there because it's hurtful and it's a remark. So let's see if it fits. Rumors and gossip can lead to fighting or exchanging insults, and barbs as means to defend, as means of defense. Barbs. So I just like the way barbs sound, so let's go with that. Now, if